ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1972 from Godzilla vs. Gigan. So Shingeki Goji be rocking one hell of an awesome box, and it feels like a bit of a throwback for me, as I haven't seen an SH MonsterArts figure with a box quite like this in a while. I really do miss these rip and tear mark looking boxes. They're just right out of that there lovely box. So Shingeki Goji will be standing over 6 inches tall. And here's a closer look at that measurement for anybody who might be doubting my eyes and my ability to assort numbers. Alright, paint and detail time. Starting off with the dorsal fins, we have a nice and shiny silver mixed with Godzilla's base color for the skinnier parts of its, skinnier parts of it. That just doesn't sound right, does it? Fleshier, I should say. And for the most part, we get quite a lot of silver. And we will be getting all of that dusty, very lively silver on both sides of the back, as well as both sides on the tail, ending about over here. Which, like I said in my unboxing video the other day, is actually entirely suit accurate, which can't complain about that now, can I? The application of this silver dorsal fin paint is rather consistent, and save for a few paint scuffs, I really don't have anything to complain about. They look like Godzilla dorsal fins, and they are outfitted with the paint and detail needed to communicate as such. As of right now, that and that are the only paint scuffs I can really find on here. But oh, the details. Oh, never mind, got another paint scuff for something over there, but honestly, from far away, is it really all that noticeable? Well, it is to me because I found it, but for the most part, everything we are seeing on Godzilla's back is perfection. And taking a closer look at all of them with all these beautiful details. Oh, friends and neighbors, this is a win. This is an absolute win. This is a confirmed win, I should say, on SH MonsterArts' part. Now, how about everything else? This one fingernail over here isn't fully painted, but for the most part, the rest of them are just fine on both sides. No complaints. We're gonna see a little bit of green mixing in with Godzilla's base color. Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know, don't care. Looks great. And that's going to lead right into the crotch and then right into the legs. And as far as the legs go, I feel like there might be a light peppering of a lighter color on there. It doesn't feel just charcoal black or anything like that, so hey, credits to you, Bandai. But moving into the toes, yet again, lovingly painted. Fungal infection, spicy brown mustardish yellow going on. And hey, yo, look at that, they'll be like that on the underside as well. Trademark, Toho Company Limited, BSP China, numbers, 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 and look at that underfoot detail. Just really nice and wrinkly looking. Giggity. Moving into the bottom of the tail, there really won't be too much going on in terms of paint or detail. I mean, there will be detail, but yeah, nothing really crazy to report here. Although obviously the underside of the tail versus the sides and tops of the tail will differ from one another. And now what I assume you're all waiting for, the head. As far as I'm seeing with the teeth on this guy, I really don't have any complaints. Yes, some of the gums feel just a little too long when approaching the tooth, but even in that sense, at least they look even from the fronts and sides and everything. And the very glossy inner mouth paint just beautifully communicates saliva. Look at that happy guy. He just got told he had no cavities at the dentist's office. Now, as far as the eyes go, surprisingly, this is something that I have not seen really pop up on anybody's copies, but my one eye over here is slightly off-center, just slightly. And I can tell by looking at the eye over here, some of the blackened area over there is very much visible, where on the other side and the other head, it is not. But be honest with me. Did you notice it before I even said it? Likely not. But if you did, thumbs up, cookie. Whereas on the other side, it just looks like an eye. There's white, there's a black pupil iris thing, you've got the white gleam on there. And for the most part, even though this looks doofy as hell, this is entirely suit accurate. But What about the alternate head, you might be asking? Well, happy to report, his eyes are looking as straight as possible, and I think the application on this eye is actually a lot better than the standard head. I keep seeing like a glossy yellow on these eyes, but I'm not sure if it's actually there. My brain might be baking. Whether it is there or it isn't, we've got yet another lovely head for Godzilla to rock at your choice. The major difference being, it's just blood spouting from Godzilla's head, running down the sides of his nose to his mouth. The teeth and the innards of the mouth will look and appear exactly the same. Nothing messy, no 2014 Shamathon looking crap going on here. And wouldn't you know it, there's a tongue in there that is fully painted and detailed. Same with the inside of the mouth, which looks like they just ran some orange and then did some dry brushing over all the folds of the roof of Godzilla's mouth. Noticeably peak. Thank you, Bandai. The only micro issue I guess I could say with this head is just that there is some bloody dribbles on his lips over here. Oh, his lip. Not at all present on the opposite side, but just felt like telling you so you guys don't have to comment and let me know. I don't have a problem with it at all, and I am going to award Shingeki Goji 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail. They knocked it out of the park. Whether this will be followed up with another banger or just a very terrible repaint, that is yet to be seen. We are in the now, and right now, yeah, 2 solid stars. Now, accessory application. I personally like to grab Godzilla's neck by the centerpiece, and then it's just a light tug. Fairly basic stuff going on, and then we just like that. Like a glove, bloody head Goji fits perfectly fine. Solid star in terms of accessory inclusion. Thank you there, Bandai. Do that a little bit more often, please. And I guess if I had to log one nitpick, I do wish that we actually got closed hands like this, or however Haru Nakajima was working the hands. But I'm sure that'll be saved for a Heat Ray version, which will be a Bandai P exclusive, which means that it'll just get packed up to 130 or more before shipping. Hooray. But anyway, time for articulation. Right up top at the head over here, we're going to have a ball joint, which will let us swivel all the way around. You'll be able to look up about that far, and then down rather far. Jaw is on a ball joint, so it can move from side to side, up and down, all around. This is standard SH MonsterArts norm, but there you go. He be chewing the tobacco. Ball joint 1 and ball joint 2 right here at the center, which of course will let you swivel all the way around, which I don't feel like doing. And then we're going to have another ball joint over here at the base of the neck. This one's a little bit harder to get to working. I just feel like the collarbone over here really does stop it, but when fully bent down, you can get Godzilla to look pretty far down, and let's see how far up we can get. That's about it as far as up. And as you can see over here, the dorsal plate is going to sit in this little skin divot over here. Much better look at it. And if you move the head by the neck down and out a bit more, you will be able to clear that, and you will be able to fully rotate the head. Again, I am not going to do that on camera. Use your imagination. It's a ball joint in a socket. And now let's move over to this dorsal fin over here. It does move back and forth, and I believe Gamer Minya and lılı both pointed this out for me. Moving the head back would actually cause this dorsal fin to not hit this dorsal fin, but, you know, come in contact with it, it hits it. And this would just move ever so slightly back so you don't chip any paint. Scared the crap out of me with my unboxing. I thought it was broken. But as you can see, we've got a little peg in there which does move up and down. And when applying the dorsal fin to that little nub, yeah, it does kind of just make sense, doesn't it? There you go. And it stays on just nice. You have to actually, like, pull it to actually get it off. Not sure if that is intended. Haven't watched any reviews of this guy just yet, so hey, let me know if yours is like that. And since we're over here, we will get a ball joint up here at the tibial area. There is some movement there, but as you can hear, I am none too confident in that. Yes, I have heated this thing up, and I've been able to at least do that, but I'm no longer going to be doing that. I don't want to take the figure apart. I'm never going to use that ball joint anyway, so nowhere near as bad as somebody, especially me, would normally expect. However, towards the waist over here, we will get, oh yeah, look at that bend, which when combined with all 3 ball joints in the head, will allow Godzilla to look all the way down. Peak. And of course, there will be some swivel action. Yet again, very clicky, very loud, Very scary. And of course, this allows for a healthy looking, not sounding, double bendish at the torso. Now for the arms. You will be able to move the arms in just like that, as well as out. You will be able to do a full swivel at the shoulder blades over here. There's going to be a ball joint up here in the bicep and over here in the forearm, allowing for a very nice double-ish bend going on there. Really cool. There will be a bit of rotation going on all throughout the arm, but it only really gets perfectly rotational once you get to the forearm. There is going to be a ball joint at the base of the wrist and over here at the hand, but yeah, I don't wanna. But you will be able to swivel at the hand up here. Said ball joint will allow the wrist and hand to be posed upwards quite like that, and then a bit downwards as well. Nothing too crazy, but worthy of stating. My only real complaint with the arms is mainly just this one. As you can see, this guy's bend, nice and buttery smooth and at a very nice upward angle. This guy's is kind of the same, but yeah, that happens before I can even complete it. Oh, I do believe this gentleman over here is to blame, because when it's sitting in this little skin thing, and when you reapply that piece to the arm, I don't know, it feels like there's something stopping it, but you know what? That is a minor bend in and a full bend out, so I'm not going to lose my crap about it. Moving to Godzilla's thighs and hips over here, the legs can move out pretty decently far. It might take some finagling, but with the helps of the other joints in the legs, you can get a nice spread out pose. The legs can kick up about that far before they start giving me resistance that I don't want to deal with, and then they can kick back, just as far and high up. My god, that looks really painful. Gonna get a ball joint above the knee and below the knee for a bend that looks just like that. Baby swivel above the knee, less babyish swivel below the knee. We're also going to get a ball joint in the ankle over here. You can point the foot down about that far and then back up. But most importantly, you get a nice pivot. Yes, on both sides. Which, as I said before, will aid in getting some lovely battle poses. And now, for the best part about the articulation that is featured on this figure. Oh yes, the best. That being Godzilla's tail. As of right now, the ball joint over here is angled all the way up. Would you like to see what it looks like when it's angled all the way down? Here, allow me to demonstrate. Yep. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Yep, Godzilla can do the Alien 3 pose, and he can do the flying pose from Godzilla vs. Hedorah. It's entirely possible. There is no trickeries going on here or anything. You're seeing me do this right on camera. You can accomplish the transportation pose from the one movie where they go to space. Sorry, it slipped my mind. And like I said prior, the Hedorah flying pose. Whoa! So not only can that tail accomplish what I just showed off, but it can also do something so very magical. Look at this curve. Like, he's pointing right to his friggin' hips, like, ouch, that's where the pain is. And yes, it's staying. It's staying! I'm sorry, was that too cringe? I'm just excited about an SH MonsterArts figure. It's a very rare occurrence, please forgive me. And no, it's not just exclusive to one side. This guy can curve all the way around to his opposing side as well. Look at that. Just beautiful. Bring the tail back around like so, and you can accomplish the most perfect fucking S-curve for a tail I have ever seen. And just look at these sideways curves too. My god. And yes, even the tip of the tail has a ball joint. Oh yeah. That's just fantastic. I'm gonna give that articulation a solid star, and then I'm gonna give a sub rating of a solid star to that friggin' tail, because what? Bandai, I don't know where you've been hiding all this effort, but good job. So let's take a look at posability, huh? Posability-wise, as expected after all of that magnificent articulation, really is just the most fluid I think I've seen on an SH MonsterArts Godzilla. Granted, there are other SH MonsterArts Godzilla figures that can do different things in different ways, either better or worse, yada yada yada, but this guy just feels like the complete package. Great paint applications, great amount of detail, and great articulation and posability to match. This figure, overall, across every aspect, is entirely deserving of the SH MonsterArts name and the notoriety of which the line is very much known for and sometimes overpraised for with figures that totally don't deserve it. This is not one of those figures. I'm not going to say this is one of the best figures they've released in a long time because, as you know, I really don't feed into the SH MonsterArts machine very often. I mean, they kind of had me sold at ball joints all the way to the tip of the tail, but in being able to move this figure in every which way, in any which way that I personally wanted to, I had so much fun posing this guy. I had so much fun just getting him into some wacky poses, movie poses, and all 9 yards. I genuinely do believe that if you've been waiting for an SH MonsterArts figure to cop, this is the one to get. Especially doubly so if you're a big Showa fan like myself. Now mind you, I paid $78.71 before shipping for this guy. After that, I think it was about $125, something like that. I would say that price is entirely warranted, and I would even say the $100 upfront asking price on Big Bad Toy Store is even more worth it. This is not a figure to miss.
Oh yeah, that's a solid star for sure. So, size comparisons.
He's not the biggest SH MonsterArts figure I've seen, but he's definitely a lot bigger than I was expecting. He kinda matches up with some movie monster series figures here and there, but obviously it's not going to be a perfect match. What he is going to be a perfect match for, though, is just having him on that SH MonsterArts shelf or that Showa era shelf or that articulated figures only shelf that you may or may not have, and just getting the airs of grace, the good tasting gleams off of the sight that is having a 72 SH MonsterArts figure in hand. That's the best way I can describe it. I friggin' love this thing's existence.
I love it. It's fantastic. I'm not a born-again sham stan or anything like that, but damn good stuff there, Bandai. Great eyes, great teeth and gums, great articulation, no crazy issues on my part, nothing that I would deduct points from. Despite what many people may think, I might not like SH MonsterArts, but I don't want them to disappear. Having SH MonsterArts and Haya side by side like that, I feel like it encourages, what's the word I'm looking for? Good sportsmanship? Something like that? But anyway, I've been ShinRobjira. So hope you all enjoyed this video. And when next we meet, I think it's top 15 figures of the year time, maybe? I don't know. I'll see you all then and there, whether it's that or Limited Movie Monster Series Mosu Goji. Bye-bye!